We'll be back next week with our regularly scheduled program, Naked and Afraid, the nonprofit edition. No overhead, no clothes. And tonight, we're pleased to bring you a brand new holiday special, The Grinch, a non-profitable Christmas. Enjoy. 'Twas New Year's Day and all was well. 2020 would be a great year as far as he could tell. Our friend Mr. Grinch, with his heart now so big, was leaving Whoville for a brand new gig.
Where are you headed, Mr. Grinch?
I'm headed to the Empire State to lead a nonprofit.
Aw, that's swell, Mr. Grinch.
2019 has come and passed. Bring on 2020, I'm gonna kick some ass. Got my nonprofit going to do some good, equity and inclusion in every neighborhood. For once in my life, I just won't think about me. Gonna serve you so good, gonna change your family tree.
Well, we are almost through the year, and that's right, you guessed it. 2020 was not exactly what Mr. Grinch had expected. A global pandemic has brought even more need, with even more struggling families to feed.
Can you hear me? How about now?
I want to thank you for joining the Nonprofit Summit, sponsored by the Human Services Council of New York. I'm your moderator, Michael Mancandy. Today we have on the panel a representative from the nonprofit sector and representatives from state and local government.
Daddy, I'm bored.
Yes, baby, I know you're bored, but Daddy's working right now, so go finish your math assignment. Okay, sorry about that. Where were we? Yes, representing the nonprofit sector, former home invader turned nonprofit executive director, Mr. Grinch.
This year has been the worst. Seriously.
From the city, John Potter.
Hi, super happy to be here. FYI, I have a hard stop at 10:10.
That's in 5 minutes.
That's right.
All right. Vice President of External Affairs for the state.
I'm hungry.
Honey, I know you're hungry, but I am... Why is your brother wet? Excuse me.
Well, I'll just go ahead and introduce myself. I am Michelle Mendoza, and I am the VP of External Affairs for the state of New York. And on behalf of all the Cuomo sapiens in the world, I am happy to be here in this new normal. Come on, guys, we can get through this together. Let's make this event a super spreader of hope.
Yeah. Let's get this back on track. Although this is not a condition unique to New York, the nonprofit workforce has played a vital role during the pandemic. Mr. Grinch, how are things going out there?
How are things going? Man, we are feeding, sheltering, and providing services to more New Yorkers than ever. It took months to get PPE to our frontline workers after countless requests. Funding from the government has been delayed, renegotiated, or cut altogether. A few years ago, I wouldn't have cared about any of this, man. My heart was too small. But now, it's just too big.
Mr. Potter, how would you respond to this? Those gifts were for Christmas? I told you.
Santa Claus even real?
Santa Claus is real, baby. Don't cry. Oh, sorry.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just recovering from that hairstyle. Okay, the Empire State is anticipating a $14.5 billion deficit this year. Okay, we have to make cuts. In fact, we have to reevaluate every dollar, every contract, every promise we've made you, every relationship we've established. Love is like a battlefield.
Did you just quote Pat Benatar?
Sure did.
Look, we understand how unprecedented these times are. These are difficult times, uncertain times, new normal times. And we want all you nonprofit leaders to sit around our table, our thought tables, as thought leaders, because you are essential. With your boots on the ground and houses of hope, you all are the true heroes.
Y'all are going to turn me into the old me. Christmas is coming. You know what I'm capable of. We need action, not just talk.
Okay, look, you were from Hoboken, right?
Whoville?
Right. Look, once upon a time you thought that if you took away all of people's stuff, that you'd rob them of their joy, right? Well, look, the nonprofit sector doesn't have what they thought they would. That's okay. What would Whoville do in this situation? You know what I mean? It's been fun.
I am sorry. So it is clear there are major gaps in funding. Mr. Potter, did we lose John?
I think he put in the chat that he was leaving so he could file his mayoral candidacy. Look, I think the problem here is that there is a perceived lack of empathy. I will tell you that my boyfriend and I arranged several Zoom happy hours where we went out on that very balcony and we clapped till our hands were numb. And let me also tell you that we are putting our money where our mouths are. Just in time for the holiday season, we have our new Cuomo Claus ugly sweaters. Let me show you my screen. Okay, so 80% of 10% of every dollar is going to eventually be divided in half to the nonprofits around the state. We'll be sending you RFPs shortly. We got them down to 100 pages.
It's not just about funding. It's about keeping your promise to the people that put our leaders in office. 1.6 million nonprofit jobs were lost across this country. And 2 million workers are now food insecure.
Child care providers are closing every week.
We are doing the work you are not trained to do. Many of our workforce live in the same communities they serve. And now, because you're only giving us 80% of what you promised, much of our workforce is in need of the same services they were providing. Damn it. I told myself not to cry.
I'd like to talk about funding now, if you're taking questions. Hi, I'm Harvey. I represent the funding community. My friends and family have been bridging the gap of funding for these social services for generations. And the gap just gets bigger. I mean, we've had a hard year too. Around this time last year, I decided to sell all of my stock in Zoom. I really thought concert venues and eat with your hands buffets were going to be all the rage this year. But I guess what I'm trying to say is this. How long are we going to continue to pick up the tab to address all of our community's problems? I mean, I have dreams too. I want to be able to get married and leave something to my great grandkids' kids someday.
He actually has a point.
Let me tell you this.
Listen, sometimes we as a community have to help each other out. And the state is doing everything.
There is so much more to this story, so trending, but we only got 80% of the budget we were promised for the ending. It is time for a change in the nation. Every nonprofit leader, board member, and foundation, every worker, good doer, and who's who and the like, it is time to stand up, to unite, to make all that is wrong with government policies right. Here's the deal. These problems are real. And to show you how this story ends, we asked for a little help from our friends.